Today I'm going to show you how fast and easy it is to build a memory palace using memorypalace.com. So the first thing you're going to do after you log in is you're going to go to the Home tab, and there you'll see that there's a link for New Palace. So go ahead and click on that. And once you're inside there, you're going to pick a name for the palace. For this one, I guess we'll just build something about the periodic table, maybe do a couple of the elements there just to show you how it works. So I've gone ahead and created the periodic table as a palace. It sends me directly into the palace, so if I want to actually see the palace in my list of palaces, I have to follow the breadcrumbs back to the home. And here it is in my home, the periodic table. That's just a default image. Again, I can change that image. I can change the name of the palace as well. I can copy the palace, or I can delete it also. So let me just go ahead and enter the palace again. Once I'm inside, the default is a 3x3 grid view of rooms. Now I can change this grid if I want to, for instance, remove or add columns or rows. I can do that using these easy links. So now let's go ahead and create a room. I just do that by clicking on one of the spaces, and this room I'll just call it All Elements. I might go ahead and move elements and put them in different rooms depending on what organization I want to use later, but for now I think I'm just going to place them all in one room. So I can obviously drag this room around. One quick note, if I click on the name, it won't let me drag. Just because the name element is sitting on top, so it's picking that. So just try to grab it anywhere else and it'll let you move it. So next thing I want to do is I want to go inside of the room. And once I'm inside of the room, you'll notice that the room is divided into 3 sections. Each one of the sections corresponds to one of the steps in building a memory palace. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import the information that we want to remember. In this case, I've already copied a list of the elements. So let me go ahead and put those in. And there they are. And now I want to go ahead and save it. And now I want to send these, I'm not going to send all the information, but just the names into here my list of items. And that's I'm going to transform them into images. So the way I do that is I can either double click if it's a single word, or I can drag it and just selecting the text that I want to send. Again, double clicking works a bit faster. So once the information is here, you'll notice that in the item panel, it's already selected an image. What it's done is it's looked up the keyword that you've selected and found the first image for that. For hydrogen, I'm not really happy with this image, so I'm going to go ahead and for the reference, I'm going to change it. I'm going to put in for a blimp like the Hindenburg. Now that's great, I really like that image, but I don't like the color. So I can just click on the thumbnail, and like for instance, if I really didn't like that blimp, I can just type in blimp here, and I'll get more options for blimps. But since I do like this blimp, all I'm going to do is change the color. I see more of a grayish kind of blimp in my head. I can also upload images if I have my own. But I like this gray blimp, so I'm just going to go ahead and save it. And there I go. I have a red blimp, gray blimp. So for helium, I think a balloon would be good. For lithium, let's try a battery. And again, let me change the colors of these. I see more of a red balloon like that song. So for lithium, a battery, I'm not really crazy about this battery. I think this one is cooler. Okay, just go ahead and change the color on it. Let's make it like let's make it like a green battery, like a dark green, yeah, like a Prius battery or something. Okay, and for beryllium, I think a berry is probably a pretty good choice. Let me go ahead and change the color of the berry. I like more of like a blueberry maybe. There we go. And for boron, it's a little bit trickier. I guess I could pick like a drill for boring, or I could pick, I think boron is used in laundry detergent, so maybe some laundry detergent. But I think that for me, I'm going to go with the Red Baron. So the Red Baron is a plane. So I'm going to go ahead and look for planes. Now, obviously I don't want a modern plane. I'm looking more for like a World War I type plane. There's one. I don't really like that image. Let's see if I can find a better one. Okay, this looks good enough for me. Let's just make it red for the Red Baron, and there we go. So I've just created the first 5 images. The next step is I want to go to the canvas. This is the room, and now I'm going to start personalizing this palace, meaning I'm going to move these items around and resize them and rotate them to tell a story, or just you know, place them along whatever path I want. Now, for 5 items, one thing you could do is you could kind of tell a story with them. So, you know, you could have this balloon is obviously like flying around, and it runs into this, and then perhaps a battery is like just lying here, or maybe this is tied to the balloons, and then I've got you know, a humongous berry over here, and they're about to crash into the berry, and then this plane is about to go down, you know, because it hit the berry or something like that. So you could tell a story with them. Another thing you might want to do is, and this is actually what I would recommend, since we're doing a list of items that has, you know, many numerically organized items, and it's important to know the actual number of each. What you might want to do is organize them in groups of 5. So, I mean, I could tell a story in groups of 5 and then just tell another story with the next group of 5. But what I also could do is I could choose any sort of rectangular or square, sort of any space with 4 corners, and place them in there in a sort of pattern. So what I would do is, let's say this blackboard, for instance, I can go ahead and place my blimp there. I can place the balloons on this corner. I can place the battery over on this little corner here, the berries over here, and now I've just put the plane in the middle, and there we go. We've got 5 items. So I could do that for all of the rectangles in here, and obviously then I would know, if you asked me, for instance, you know, which is the 25th element, I would know it would be the last element of the 5th group. So just another quick couple of notes here on the canvas. You can turn the icons on and off. You can turn the keywords on and off. You can turn the references on and off. You can put them all on if you want. And I can also turn on and off the line that connects them. Once I've actually, you know, memorized the associations and everything, I just like to look at it like this and just follow the path. Now, another cool thing you can do is you can actually play the journey by just hitting play. And you can stop at any time, and you can obviously go back and forward at your own speed if it's playing too quickly. So that's just a quick once-over about how to build a memory palace using memorypalace.com. In later videos, I'll show you how to post your palaces to the store. So that's it for now. Please let me know. Post any questions that you might have on the forums or directly on the blog. And I hope you have a very memorable day. Thank you very much for listening.